This is our group project for practical data science, where we ran an analysis on a dataset containing deleted Russian troll tweets from a dataset published by NBC. Our group members are Jeremy, Jenny, and Rumby. And so moving into our dataset, NBC recently released these 200,000 Russian troll tweets, and they basically asked data scientists to identify whether or not there was any evidence pointing towards Russian interference in the 2016 election. And so going into our Jupyter notebook, we had 4 questions.
So primarily, our questions were, how did the activity of Russian trolls align with the political events in the 2016 elections? What were the main purpose of the accounts, and how influential were they? And also, what features could we identify from the tweets? So after cleaning up the data and getting rid of columns that weren't necessary to our analysis, we moved into question 1. And so we analyzed the number of tweets per week in 2016, and we saw that there was a huge spike of tweets in the later half of the year, especially around the 40 to 45th week,
which was the election. And so moving into our second question, we analyzed the hashtags and the most popular topics in the tweets, and we noticed that, and something interesting was that in the first half of the year, all of the most popular hashtags were actually just trending hashtags, nothing really that political, while in the second half, the focus shifted very heavily and very noticeably into politics, such as hashtag politics and hashtag MAGA. And so we noticed that the trolls probably in the first half of the year used these tweets to gain visibility in their accounts and establish credibility, while in the second half they shifted to having a more political nature.
So moving on to measuring the influence of the Russian tweets, we tried to analyze the number of favorites, number of retweets, and number of followers that users had on average. And in general, we found that a lot of the users retweeted other tweets rather than making their original tweets. So this might indicate some sort of interaction they wanted to have with their users and what messages they wanted to convey.
Moving into our fourth question, we ran a sentiment analysis on the actual text that contained in the Russian troll tweets. We basically analyzed whether or not they contained the words Trump or Hillary and what the overall connotation was for all of them. And we basically concluded that from our results that most of the tweets were pretty neutral. Most of them were leaning a little bit more positive than negative. And we can see that over double the tweets contained the word Trump and as opposed to Hillary. And so basically from our analysis, we kind of picked out the words that were common in negative, neutral, and positive tweets, and we represented these in 2 ways, one with a bar graph and one with word bubbles. And so basically we hope that this analysis was interesting, and that in the future we hope to run similar analyses on different media sites such as Reddit or Facebook. Thank you.